totally understand why a growing number of Westerners are looking at Cambodia as the place they're going to start their new life, or at the very least, have it be one of the places where they spend extended periods of time throughout any given calendar year. So let's go through a few of the lessons learned since we've been here. Lodging costs. My experience has only reinforced my position that your lodging cost never exceeds 1/3 of the money you have available to you. You should be okay. On a daily basis, you're not going to spend through your whole allotment of money because food is so affordable, so inexpensive here, and that'll keep you in a good spot because, oh surprise, bus tickets, or oh, the airfare is going to cost you more than you thought it was going to with the extra baggage fees. Or what happens is, oh my gosh, I'm deathly ill. I have to go down to the pharmacy and buy a bunch of medicine. Which brings me to a point. I love the pharmacy system in this part of the world, because if I just walk in and explain to the pharmacist my symptoms, I mean, I've been sick like 2/3 of the time I've been here in Cambodia, and still I love this place. And they'll prescribe me medicine, and then I'll go back 3 days later and say, no, that didn't work. So we try something else, you know, third, fourth trial, we finally get it right. There are pharmacies everywhere in the 4 towns that I've been spending time here. So think of the tourist trail, which just happens to have the places we want to consider. It's like a loop around the Tonle Sap. I arrived through Siem Reap Airport, and it was one of the easiest, most orderly and straightforward things. So first of all, that airport, Siem Reap Airport, brand new. It's only been there for a year. And even though officially the guidance is have your visa ahead of time, I did not have to. Everybody did not. So you get off the plane, you go down the corridor, and they have all these tablets set up, and you just start typing in your nationality data. Use the tablet to take a picture of your passport, move to the desk, hand your passport over, hand over $30. You get a 30-day passport unless there's something really strange going on with you, and then off you go. You get on the airport bus for $8 US cash, takes you to the middle of Siem Reap. For another $1, you take a tuk-tuk ride to your accommodations. And then you can do the same thing in reverse when you're heading back to the Siem Reap Airport, because it's like a 45-minute ride outside of town. And they did that, I'm told, by airport employees, because the flight path previously of the old airport, it was right next to Angkor Wat, and all of the vibration and the concussion was not doing them any favors in the conservation effort. So what are our thoughts? Well, gosh, all of these places are pretty different. And really, it's only in the last year that Cambodian cities are showing up on those lists of best places. So I think it's a little bit of a new discovery for the English-speaking world, and maybe European English speakers will disagree with me, Australians, Canadians, I don't know. I haven't met many Americans here at all. But French people, they have long known about this place. It's very obvious. In all of these cities, once you're in the town or the city that you're going to be hanging out in, getting around is easiest just hailing a tuk-tuk. You know, the ride hailing app, Grab or Pass app, are pretty much your best bet. You're just going to get the price right every time. Every time. You can rent a tuk-tuk from the company TukTukRental.com, which I am told you can actually take it to tour around the country. And I'm also told that it's sort of like a community benefiting company. It's Sri Lankan owned. So what happens is a village pools together their money to buy a tuk-tuk, and then they rent it out to you. So the money goes back into the hands of the local people. Getting around the country by train. I'll put the link in the description below. Royal Railway only goes from Phnom Penh down to Kampot and back, or Phnom Penh to Battambang and back. Now those are pretty long train rides, and you gotta be willing to get up pretty early in the morning for it. Buses, those same bus rides, instead of being a 9-hour train ride, they're about a 3 to 4 hour bus ride. And the bus ticket is in the neighborhood of $10. And that's been the case everywhere I've gone, city to city in Cambodia, about a $10 bus fare. So the visa on arrival process at Siem Reap Airport, at least, was very straightforward, very easy. I did not have to have it arranged ahead of time. But then the advice I would give you is, if you know you're gonna stay past 30 days and you want a second 30-day, an extension, start working on that ahead of time. If you're here in Siem Reap, there was a visa office that was doing it for $30. Cost me $50 back in Phnom Penh It's about a 10-day turnaround time, which makes me a little uncomfortable. And you know, if you're pushing the 30 days, so if you're gonna do an overnight, that's $150. I think it's a little bit beyond the scope of this conversation to get too wrapped up in, you know, tourist visa, business visa, retirement visa, because like every country I've been, I just think it's such a good idea to come as a tourist for a little while to see if you even like the place. Because guaranteed, just like everywhere else, there's all these little nuanced details that you think you're gonna want one thing and like one thing, and it turns out to not be. And I mean, you know, Cambodia, the 4 towns I've been, it's been exactly like everywhere else, where I first get there and I actually don't like it for the first couple of days, few days, until I get the feel for the place and start to appreciate, oh, of course, it's nothing like what people told me it was gonna be, but I love it for these other reasons. All right, so let's go through the 4 places. Battambang shows up just recently on a list as like an alternate. If you wanted a little quieter, a little slower, place where you can retire. And it was just too dusty for me. So I don't think that makes the top of my list. Phnom Penh, busy, growing, exciting city. But I had the same problem. The air quality was just, it was too much, too poor for me. So it's not gonna make my final list. I met great people in Phnom Penh. But I think one of my biggest complaints to the disadvantaged side is the lack of walkability. If I wanted a little bit quieter, and I don't think anybody else has even mentioned this place, but Kampot and Kep Beach, but Kampot mostly. I had so much fun hanging out there. I actually can't wait to go back someday. So that one, it's sticking with me at least. So I recommend you check it out. But certainly top of the list, my #1 choice for Cambodia is right here in Siem Reap. First few days I was here, I was just kind of like, what is with this place? But it wasn't until I left to go keep exploring that I just couldn't stop thinking about this place. And I was like, God, what a cool town. And so I did decide to come back to close it out for a few days, and it's just got this great feel. So one of the things I'm told is that there's an ordinance, they can't build buildings any higher than the Angkor Wat temple, which is cool because it preserves this not too big of a city feel. I mean, a perfect example, just right here. The buildings really, I don't think I've seen anything over a 5-story building, 4 or 5 stories. And because of that, they're kind of forced to have much more elegant architecture to them. So there's really pretty buildings all over this town. It's pretty much, it's a tourist place because of Angkor Wat. So that means there is a significant international presence here, and that's okay. It kind of brings out best of the best performance in terms of, I wouldn't say nightlife, but the restaurant scene and the density of it is right around here at the Siem Reap River as the sun is going down. It's just, it's incredible. How much food, I mean, there's coffee shops open super late. There's places you can get, adult beverages street side all night long here too, if that's your jam. So where would I even be looking if I was gonna do the long-term stay thing here? Well, I definitely wouldn't want to be right on and right in Pub Street area, but I would want to be very, very close walking distance to all of that local food scene that's down here on the river. So I'd give an honest shot look at both sides of the river, but probably try to be a couple blocks back from the heart of the tourist action. That can get pretty intense. And I'm not a bicyclist by any stretch of the imagination, but there's like clubs here where they get up at sunrise and they all ride their bikes through there's really just one road through the temple complex, Angkor Wat, every morning. That's what they do for exercise. And I think, oh man, that's the kind of thing, if I was staying here for months at a time, I could totally get into. Just, what a great morning thing that would be. Excluding that, you can see all around me, there is so much walking space everywhere in this town. And if you watch my other videos, you can see that the sidewalks are very wide, it's kept very clean, there's tons of space for you to negotiate, which is not the case in those other cities. So Siem Reap really has the lead in terms of how prepared it is for all this international visiting that's happening, no matter how it moves in the future. And the cost of everything here in Cambodia, it is not as cheap as you think it's gonna be, but it is still very, very affordable relative to Western price tags. Cost of lodging can be a little bit tricky in Phnom Penh. It's hard to find good accommodations hotel-wise under 25 US dollars a night. In that you gotta look and reserve ahead of time. And the same thing is kind of true here in Siem Reap, but Siem Reap is, these hotel owners, these small businesses, they're really forced to keep their game elevated. So I think your quality level to the dollar is much higher here in Siem Reap. In those smaller towns, Battambang, they just need, so many things need a facelift. But the big surprise again was Kampot. There were several spots in Kampot that were so nice. Oh my gosh, so nice and so affordable, like $15 a night, sometimes even less. I think on this walk, you're getting an idea for what things kind of look like, roughly. If I was gonna do it, so like in Siem Reap and Phnom Penh, I've been told, real estate agencies, a realty agency, which is true. I've seen advertisements for shockingly affordable places that look really nice. But where I hear of people getting the best deals is if they take their time, they come as a tourist to explore, and if they either see a building they like or a neighborhood they like, and that's key, because it can be so different block by block, is go talk to the manager or go talk to the landlord. You are gonna get a much better deal if you're looking for, a month, 2, 3, 4 months. Just the prices, I can't even believe some of the prices I heard, as low as, even in the big cities, like $250, $300 a month. English proficiency. I was surprised at how common people could speak a business transaction level of English. Almost everywhere you go, somebody in the building or in the area can speak English. The telephone translating, once again, it just kind of fails. Something is lost in translation. And there's this crazy thing, maybe my physical condition, maybe my health is shifting, but all of Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, I would maybe get a mosquito bite every couple of weeks, and here, everywhere I go, every single night, they are just absolutely devouring me. So even then, even though I've been sick and mosquitoes, I still have had such a great time. Cambodia is such a special place. If it's not on your list of places to take seriously, I think you should strongly consider it. There are so many things. So let's close this out. There are people from all over the world here starting their lives over for whatever reason, whether that was personal crisis. So I've seen and met tons of people who, it's like they don't have any other option, is how the story went, and they started teaching English. In all of the towns, cities that I have been in, have I met people who, that's how they did this. And then there are people who have business experience, business acumen, resource, and they come here and they bring that skill set. No matter where you fall in the spectrum between those two things, I think it doesn't strike you as the first place you would think of to do it, because I know right now some of the neighboring countries are so popular, at least with the American monologue about this subject. But Cambodia, there is an intangible allure to the Khmer. It's somewhere intertwined in their history and how that defines their identity and how that creates the interaction you have with them as people, both individually but also on the whole. It's like the almighty peace is such a cherished thing. It plays into this social dynamic and cultural dynamic that you can't really get past the surface of, but you know it's something to be appreciated and respected all the time. Man, Cambodia, put it on your list if it's not already. I have now posted videos that are POV walking tour or motorbike tour videos of some of the towns in Cambodia. I got this comment and it really stuck with me. Somebody was like, quit showing your face, just show us the things we want to see. Okay, that's probably an exaggeration, but that's how this all started anyway. Like if you watch my Malaysia videos, in each of those videos, my face only makes like a 1-second cameo. I never wanted to be on camera until people started telling me like, oh, you have to do it. You have to start telling the story. So here we are, things evolved. Cambodia is kind of new to that, the longer list of best places. But there's other countries falling off because they just keep like jacking up the cost for people like me to do this. One of the neighboring countries has just gotten entirely too popular with the international community. So it's like, it's not even a budget choice anymore. I gotta get out of here. I will see you in the next town.